Hey PA gang, PA Reloader here. Today we're going to do some backyard camp cooking. What we're going to be making is a dish that dates back to 1742. It was in one of the first published cookbooks from the colonies, and it's called Brunswick stew. Now what this stew has in it are the vegetables that you see here. We got peppers. We'll put those to the side. We got tomatoes. We have spices. We have corn. We have some potatoes. Lima beans, key ingredient in this dish. And game meat. Beef wasn't really used too much for food back then, so everybody relied on, most people relied on game meat, such as squirrel, venison, things like that. So this dish is made with squirrel, but I didn't have any squirrel, so we're going to make it with some venison. This is from a hind quarter. It's about a pound of meat, cubed up. So I'm also going to add a can of tomato sauce. So this is a dish that you're not going to hike somewhere and cook it. You're going to be making this at a campsite where you're going to feed more than one person. It's a lot of food for just one person to make. So we got our tomato sauce and we have our olive oil. And I did a video on this before, and this is the Stanley Adventure Base Camp Cook Set. And I love this thing. It's fantastic, and it comes with a lot of good stuff. So it's got a bungee system that holds it together. Got your vented lid. Comes with a nice frying pan. And we're gonna cook the meat first in this pan. We're gonna fry it up, and then we're gonna add it to the stew after. So we'll put that to the side. We have 4 bowls. And we have a spoon. And a spatula. We got 4 plates. And we have our cutting board, which we're going to utilize. And we have 4 sporks and a trivet, which I cut in half to make 2 pieces so I can pick up the hot pot out of the fire. Alright, so let's get this seasoned up, and we're going to start cooking the meat. So we'll get that frying pan in the fire. It's gorgeous out today. It's probably like 70, and little breeze, beautiful day. Not complaining at all about it. I'm really enjoying the weather. So let's get the meat in there. Stuff over here. So actually what I'm going to do is, while that meat's starting to cook, I'm going to start processing, cutting up our vegetables, and see that right there, that venison looks really good. Okay, so I have the pot, which is, it's a 3-quart, I believe, 3-quart pot, and I'm going to set this down here, and we're going to start processing our vegetables. So I guess the first thing we'll do, let's get some tomato sauce in there. Got my P38 can opener, great for a little survival kit. I have this in my my Stanley Adventure cook set. I have this whole thing set up for exactly how I need it. So when I'm out in the woods All I need to do is bring this and I can make tea, coffee, whatever I need. So I'm also giving away the Stanley Adventure Camp Cook Set from my 500 subscriber giveaway, which I think I'm about 17 subscribers away from hitting 500. So there's going to be a winner of the Stanley Adventure Cook Set. So I'm really excited for somebody to win that. I'm really excited to give it away. So yeah. So let's start opening this can up. These P38 can openers are great, and if you know how to use them, you can do it pretty quick. Okay, that's that. So what we're going to do, let's get this in the pot. And now I'm going to start cutting up my vegetables. And what I'm using also is the BPS Knives HK1S. This knife is super sharp. I've had it for a long time now. It's high carbon steel, so you have to keep the blade oiled up, and but it holds its edge extremely well, and I love the knife. It comes with a sheath with a dangler on it, so I just keep it to my side. Meat's browning up. Okay, so let's get some more tomatoes in there. Yeah, I think this knife is like 36 bucks. Made in Ukraine by hand. You can get them on Amazon. With the war that's going on over there, I'm not sure if they're still making knives at this moment, but if you can get your hands on, they make quite a variety of different knives, but if you can get one, I highly recommend it. It's a great knife to have. So yeah, this should be a really good stew. And like I said, I do want to make this dish again with squirrel. I didn't harvest any squirrels this year during small game hunting, but come this fall, it should be good. And maybe I can get a couple squirrels. And maybe I can make another dish using the squirrel. Another stew of some type. And these are just baby whole potatoes that I'm cutting up. I would normally use a potato with the skin on it, but I'm kind of limited on time, and I want this dish to cook as quick as possible. And potatoes take quite a while to cook. So we're just using these guys for today. Okay. Now let's get our pepper going. So this is a really simple dish. You can add whatever spices you want to it. Kind of make it your own, but definitely check out the look it up. It's called The Art of Cookery, I believe is the name of the cookbook. And that's where you're going to find this published recipe for the dish called Brunswick stew. Pot. Chop up another one. The other half. This stump came in handy. I needed something to do my videos. When I do some of my videos, I like to use my backyard, but I needed something like a tabletop, and found these guys. They were off to the side. I found these guys. They were cording out wood. They had, geez, I bet you they had 100 cords of wood. So I reached out to them. I said, hey, I'm looking for something exactly like this. And they said, come on by. Guys were super nice. They didn't even charge me for it. But I told them that I have a YouTube channel and that I was going to be using it for that purpose as like a tabletop, kind of just like a go-to work, little outdoor workbench in a way. So it's really come in handy. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today, checking out my videos. Please get in on the 500 subscriber giveaway. The prize is really cool. You find it really useful, and I'm really excited to hit 500. My YouTube channel is just over a year old, and it's come a long way. And I really appreciate all my subscribers and the people that check out my videos. Okay, so let me show you what we got in here. We got our potatoes, we got our tomato sauce, we got our peppers and fresh tomatoes. So now what we'll do is we're going to add the corn and the lima beans. Add these in my freezer. Okay, lima beans are going in. And we're going with some spices here that I just threw together. All right, so we'll mix this up. Looks good already. We'll get this guy in the fire. Man, it's just so nice out today. It really is beautiful. Okay. So now we're going to add the venison. And you can see that's cooked up really nice. So we'll add that and all the juices in there. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of water. Stir this up again. Get that meat in there. And then it's going on the fire. a little bit of more water to it, but we'll see how those vegetables cook down. We're gonna put our lid on and we're gonna chill out. So, like I mentioned, this Stanley Base Camp Cook Set comes with your cutting board. It comes with this unique added thing that not only holds your sporks and your trivets right here, they just sit in there, but what it does also is this set comes with 4 bowls and it comes with 4 plates. Now, like I said, I did a video on this already, so check that out. But what this is, it's a drying rack. Oh, skip one. It's a drying rack for your bowls and your plates. So you can see how that works. And it holds all 8 pieces. So that was pretty cool, ingenious idea that Stanley came up with. I think this Base Camp Cook Set was right around $100. It was like $90 or something like that. But yeah, it comes with four sturdy plates. 4 sturdy bowls, and what's pretty neat about this set is it shows you on the back the stacking order of the Base Camp Cook Set, all the way from the pot and its contents all the way to the lid and then the bungee. So that's pretty neat, in case you forget how it all goes together. Put my knife away. Actually, before I do that, this knife, I have 3 BPS knives. They're out, like I said, they're out of Ukraine. This is the HK1S. It's got nice ash handles on it. I put a piece of paracord through here. It had a little hole in, that came with the hole in here for that reason. But this knife, what I'll do is I'll clean it with soap and water, dry it off really well, and then I'll hit it with a little bit of cooking spray, just to keep the blade lubricated and so keep it from rusting. That's going to be a little while. Give it a stir. So, talking about the stew, it was published in 1742, I believe. The Art of Cookery is the cookbook. There are some claims to who actually came up with the stew first, and I know Virginia is a town, it's called Brunswick, Virginia. They're claiming that they're the first ones to make the stew, and there's also Brunswick, Georgia, and they claim that they're the first ones to make the stew. So, who knows? But either way, it's got great ingredients in it, a lot of vegetables, like I said, a game meat. I do want to make this again with using maybe like I'll put 2 or 3 squirrels in there. And I would like to bring that on one of my canoe trips, just so everybody could try it out. I just got back from a canoe trip. It was April 22nd. We did 25 miles on a river called Pine Creek. It's in PA, kind of central northern PA. Yeah, so we did 25 miles, and the rapids were great. They were about class 2 rapids. We had 4 canoes, 2 people per boat, and we had a great campsite. The river is very windy. They call it the Grand Canyon of Pennsylvania, and they say you haven't canoed PA until you canoed Pine Creek. Now, I've canoed the lower Pine, but I never canoed the upper Pine, and that was something that I needed to achieve. That was on my bucket list. So it went great. We had a great group of guys. One boat flipped twice, but you just help them out and get their gear back in their boat, and then you just keep paddling. And the first day it was beautiful for like the first 2 hours, and then the sky just opened up, and it rained on us for about 6 hours, and you just got to suck it up and paddle. But what's nice about the canoe trips, my one buddy and I, we always talk about it just because life is so hectic now. Everybody's in such a rush that the river is moving 2 to 3 miles an hour. And when you get on that river, that's it. Your life is moving at that speed. And it takes a little bit of about an hour for me to get into that groove of just going and living that slowly. But it's beautiful. I mean, get out there and go camping, go canoeing. We've been doing our canoe trips. We do 2 a year. We do one in the spring, one in the fall, and because that's when the water levels are higher. Midsummer, you can't canoe Pine Creek. You have to canoe it in the early spring, which we did. But it's great. We've been doing it since 2003, so we just had our 20th anniversary, and it was our 46th trip. And 3 miles, my buddy keeps track of all the people that have gone on these trips and how many miles they've canoed. And I'm over 700 miles canoed from all the rivers and all the trips that we put together so far. So that was a milestone I hit at mile 3. So yeah, we like I said, we started doing canoe trips in 2003, and it all started because we started making canoe paddles with a 13-degree bent shaft, and we called our company Jolly Roger Paddles. And we started doing canoe trips, and it just went, it took off from there. So if you're in the market for a canoe paddle, my buddy, who I started these trips with, he's making carbon fiber canoe paddles right now, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. So we started a little company making canoe paddles called Jolly Roger Paddles, and if you go on Facebook and look up Jolly Roger Paddles, you can see all our trips, all the maps that are associated with each trip, and my buddy might even have his, I think he has his email address on there if you're in the market for a canoe paddle, if that's something that you do. So my one buddy Ed, he's always the front guy in my canoe. He's a great guy. I've known him for probably over 30 years, and we just always team up together. And he bought a coffee roaster, and he roasts his own coffee. He buys his beans from other countries, and I'll tell you what, it's the best. It's the best coffee going. I don't like coffee black, but he brought an Indonesian coffee this past trip, but before that he had a Kona blend. And it wasn't a blend, it was a straight up Kona, and I'll tell you what, that was the smoothest black coffee I've ever had. Really, really, really good. So let me clean up a little bit of this mess. These coals are nice and hot. Just for this video, I used my favorite char. It's not char. Well, I guess it's charcoal. It's Royal Oak lump charcoal, and does a great job. Yeah, the side of this pot is super hot. These coals are really hot. So we'll keep that lid on a little bit longer. I could see when I opened it up that it was starting to steam. So again, get in on the drawing that I'm holding. 17, 18 subscribers away from my goal of 500 at this point in time, and I would like to see, well, we're going to see somebody win the Stanley Adventure Camp cook set. And actually, while we're waiting for that to cook, I did a video on this a while back, but this comes with 2 green nesting cups. They're insulated, very good cups. But what I did was I wanted to make this into my own, like, not so much a survival kit, but more of along the lines of just something that I made that holds everything that I need if I'm in the woods, and I want to make coffee, tea, whatever. I can do it. So I made this to how it suits me, and I took the green cups out, and I bought one of these Ozark Trail cups, $5 from Walmart, and it's a little bit loose in here, so I just use a Brillo, which I use for cooking anyway, cleaning up, and then that just nests in there and it stays on very well. So while we're waiting for that to cook, why not break into this guy, and I'll show you what I have in here. So we'll slide the tab up. It's got a vented lid, just like all the Stanley cook sets have vented lids and strainer holes. I've got a lighter in here. I've got some paracord with a little D-ring on it. I've got some Folgers singles. When I'm hunting, I take this with me, and I use it when I deer hunt, I use a tree stand, but like if I'm small game hunting, I'll bring this with me, and I'll make tea. I got tea bags. I've got some medicine in here, some allergy meds, some aspirin, Tylenol. I keep my MSR Pocket Rocket 2 stove in here. This fits on a fuel canister that I will throw in my backpack, and this just opens up like this, and then it just screws on to your fuel canister, and you have your open and close valve. So I have that in there. I have a spork. I got another carabiner. I don't chew, but this container holds a little piece of twine, some soaked Vaseline cotton balls, and char cloth. Now I did a video where I made char cloth, so check that out. So as you can see, I'm customizing this to suit my needs. I got some gum, I have some matches, and I have my flint in here. My flint and steel, or it's magnesium, but I got my flint striker. So, and then you have your pot. Now this is a great pot. It holds, it's graduated from 8 ounces, 12 ounces, 16 ounces, and 20, and you can bring it up to 24 if you really wanted to, if you needed to. But like you can see, I customized this and made it what works for me. I made it my own. So I took the 2 green nesting cups out, and I went with the $5 cup that slides on the outside and doesn't take up any space. So let's check this stew. Oh yeah, she's starting to boil. These peppers are looking good. Corn, I love lima beans. I know a lot of people don't like them, but man, I do. I like lima beans. My wife hates them, so she won't be eating any of this. So that means it's all for me. So let me put this back together. Falling all over the place. We'll put that in after. Put my stove in. Put fire steel in there. Put this carabiner in there. And some of this stuff I might not use, but you never know what you might need. And if you take it, if you make something like this for yourself and you're out in the woods and you're like, geez, I wish I had this little thing to put in there. Start adding to your kit. Obviously not everything fits in there, but you can see that I've got a good amount of items in there. And then I always take a backpack with me, and I'll, obviously water, and then a lighter. And then, like I said, this Brillo just goes to the side. You can see it's all burnt up from the fire, but that's what it's for, right? And put that in there. And that is it. Stanley Adventure Camp Cook Set. Somebody's going to get one of these. Not the Walmart extra cup, but they're going to get this, and with the 2 nesting cups and the vented lid. It's kind of silly. Oh, and I keep my P38 can opener in here. So it's a good bit of stuff that I have in there. It makes it convenient. But yeah, this always goes hunting with me. And like I said, when I'm deer hunting, obviously I'm not using my stove in my tree stand, but after the hunt or before the hunt, I'll make a cup of tea or coffee, and I'll just enjoy my day in the woods. So it's getting a little warmer out. Okay, it's boiling. I'm thinking maybe another 7 to 10 minutes. I'm trying to think what else. This will be my 43rd video, and I appreciate the comments. Like I said, I appreciate my subscribers, and I just enjoy bringing these videos to you. If you have any ideas for videos, please reach out to me and let me know what you might like to see, and I'll try to make it happen. So yeah, I built this little, I don't have a terribly big piece of property, but I built this little fire ring back here where my central air unit is, and I got the stump and I built a little fire ring that you can see. So this is where I'm going to start shooting some more videos that I do at home when I'm not out in the woods or down by the river. But yeah, it's serving its purpose and it's working well for me. Let's give this a stir. We're gonna need this. Oh yeah. Actually, I think 5 more minutes. We'll be good to go. The other thing I want to mention, these utensils that come with the Stanley kits, they have 4 sporks, which are numbered on the back 1 through 4. So I guess that's so you can keep track of what, which one's yours. They have a real nice fork end on them. They're a little bit longer than some of the other sporks that are in some of the other Stanley cook sets, but these are nice, and the spoons are dished pretty well. And like this spoon that I've been using to stir that, and the spatula, now I stuck this in the hot frying pan with the deer meat grease and stuff, and these retain heat very well. Not retain, but they withstand the heat. They're not going to melt on you. So Stanley really does a good job when it comes to their utensils. And like this bowl alone is very rigid. Now it's just a single bowl, and it's got quite a good capacity. It's microwavable safe, dishwasher safe, and they but you give somebody a bowl and a plate and they're good to go as far as food. But this stew's going to be really well, and with the amount of ingredients that I just used, that pot is probably 3/4 to 7/8 full. I'll take it off and I'll bring it up to the camera when it's done. But this is, like I said, it's you're not going to make this for a single person, on a single, on a trip. That if you're hiking, you're not going to obviously bring a base camp cook set, because it's for 4 people. But it's a good kit. I really like it, and when I go camping, like tent camping, I'll bring it with me, and I'll cook for the family. So let me bring this up. I want to show you. Take a look at that. That looks so good. All those vegetables in there give it great color, and it's just going to be a really good dish. So get out there, guys. Do some camping and boating, canoeing. It's a lot of fun. Do some outdoor cooking. You see this vented lid right here. You're not going to be able to see it, but I can see the steam's coming out of the vented lid, so it's obviously doing its job. So I'm not going to bore you guys anymore with me rambling on about things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this stew in my bowl. Look at that, guys. That looks so good. We got the potatoes, peppers, the tomatoes that he chopped up. We got the venison in there, the lima beans, and the spices that I added. So we'll put this stuff off to the side. We'll give it a taste test. Peppers need a little bit more time to cook, but overall, all the ingredients really good consistency and taste great together. The venison's real good. So I'm gonna wrap this video up, and it's been great hanging out with you guys. I really appreciate you checking this video out. Get out there and make your own Brunswick stew. Look up the art of cookery, and you'll find the cookbook and the recipe, and you can add whatever meat you want to it. But if you want to make it a game dish, add squirrel, venison, whatever suits your taste. So, you guys take care, stay safe, and I'll see you on the next video.